Hello everyone. Welcome to the sixth and the last episode of The Master Show, Season 1. And this is the ending of our series, and ironically enough, we have named it as The Beginning. Children, imagine a world in which that all of you are scoring 90s in maths or even hundreds. All of you ace your exams and turn out to become engineers or turn out to choose professions which are more inclined towards mathematics. Guess how the world would look like? Do you think it will be a beautiful place to stay in? Definitely not. It will be very mechanical, it will be very depressing, it will be very gloomy, and it will be very monotonous. It will not be a place where we would love to live. The reason is, children, diversity is a very important law of nature. As much as I want you all to do well in maths, that does not mean all of you have to love the subject and you have to be very good at it from the beginning till the end. All of us have our own gift to explore. All of us are not going to have the same gift, but we are definitely going to have a unique gift of our own. What we have to do is we have to search and find our gift and make sure that we can make a way to continue using this gift throughout our lifetime. Some people find their unique talents and their gifts at a very early age. Some of them find it at their mid-30s. Some of them never find it. And unfortunately, some people who find their talents and abilities never know that they are capable of that as well. Anyhow, you all also have to explore your skills and find out which you have a knack for. Some of you will be obviously in love with maths, you will love doing maths and continue to do maths in your future as well, while some of you can actually do maths for the time being, try to get to reach your potentials to the maximum potential you can, but in later down the line, you might leave the subject and focus on something else. So do not feel bad that if you are not as good as others in maths, don't put yourself down. Don't think of it as something wrong. Just understand that it is not your cup of tea. But here we are talking about O-level maths. So as I told in the first episode, this is something everyone can actually manage to some extent, and you can actually go for a good score if you put in a bit of a good effort. But never make this as the measurement or the yardstick to measure your intelligence. Just because you are good at maths doesn't guarantee your success, and just because you're bad at maths doesn't mean you're going to be a failure as well. Also, another sector of people which I want to address is people who are really good at maths. I'm talking about people who score above 80, 85, 90 and 95. It is quite common that you will be a little odd out of the rest of the people, and some of you even think that you are weird because of that. All I want to say is be weird, and it doesn't have to matter. You can be weird, just go be weird, because sometimes weird people, not sometimes, actually most of the times, weird people are the ones who change the world for the better. So do not take it as something which is a disability or a disadvantage. It's how you are, because this is a world which is a pool of emotions. When you are a logical, rational person, of course you will feel a little bit odd. But at the end of the day, you contribute to the world as much as, or sometimes even more than, the rest of the people. Anyone who is bad at maths should not bully the people who are good at maths. There is a lot of bullying going around. When there is a student who is really studious, who has a love towards any subject, it's very common that you all bully them, saying they are a nerd or calling them a bookworm and so on. And at the same time, people who are good at their studies kind of discriminate people who are bad at studies, thinking they are not worth to stay in the class or the school. Sometimes you will look down upon them. Both these extremes must be managed and handled properly. Please understand that different people are differently capable. So we have to respect that, and we have to know how to adjust and live among with them. Why I am saying all this is, plenty of times when there is a student who wants to improve in their studies, who has been a person who never studies, and when they start to study, all of a sudden they think, okay, now I have to get into a proper path, and when they start to study, there will be a lot of peer pressure on them. There will be a lot of peer pressure around them where people will start saying, you are going to study, that means you are going to do well in the exams, 9 A's, and they put a lot of pressure on this particular person, and he or she may feel like giving up instantaneously. And at the same time, people who are doing really well are bullied by saying you're always in the book, you're always into studies. Let them be. It's their choice to do what they prefer, what they want. Even if you can't uplift them, do not drag them down. Be a person who can help, or at least do not do any harm. I talked about peer pressure and bullying and how this can cause depression. All these are very important topics which we can't address through this video, unfortunately. But maybe in the future, I will make some videos addressing about these issues, because these are things we have to spread awareness about, because sometimes people do not know how these are really affecting many lives out there. So maybe that's another topic for another day. And one final thing I have to talk about here is the distractions. In today's time, where online education has become more prevalent and has become normalized, we can't keep the children away from mobile phones or social media. It is almost impractical. Maybe a few years back, maybe before the pandemic, we had some control over how the digital lives of children are. But at the moment, we can't actually distract ourselves from all this distraction for sure. So what we have to do is, as I always say, when you can't eliminate a problem, you have to learn to manage the problem. So you have to find out methods to reduce the distraction you get from all your mobile devices, iPads, iPhones, laptops, whatever the mobile or electronic device you use, the internet, the social media. You have to know how to manage, how to make sure it's a tool for you to improve and to keep yourself happy, and it is not going to be a tool of destruction for you, which will waste your time as well as which will make you lose your happiness. So these things, again, within this time frame, within this series, we can't talk about it. Since this is the last episode, I just want to generally mention about it. But we are trying to make some more videos in a different series where we talk about the ways you can reduce the distractions from your phone. At the moment, I will give you some tips. There are a slew of apps which you can use to reduce the distractions, to keep you away from the phone, and also to manage your time on the phone properly. If you Google them, you will find plenty of them. And apart from apps, there are some behaviors, there are some habits you can bring into your life which will actually help you keep your day productive as much as possible. But again, we will talk about that in another video, on another day, in another series. And these are my final words for you. From the beginning of this series till the end, I have told you about a lot of things. If you go through them once again, you will notice it's all about prepping up your mind, believing in yourself, and secondly, understanding what is the subject you are studying, understanding how the exams work, understanding how the marking schemes work, and thirdly, knowing about the methodologies, how you can improve yourself, how you can, what are the different ways of studying. And we also talked about how you can bring in your friends along in this journey, how you can make sure that they are also part of this progress. And finally, in the ending part, I told you how you have to make sure that you are going to help others, and if not, at least not to harm them. So with these children, we are going to conclude this episode of the Master Show. Thank you very much for supporting us with your feedbacks, with your love, and with all the positivity. We are very much grateful for that. We are going to take a short break since the season 1 contains only 6 episodes. After a short break, we will be coming with the Master Show season 2, which will cover a different topic than this. Till then, signing off from you all with love, Rizlan Hassan.